Hello, my friends. Thanks for coming to play with the ideas that I present on my channel. It's up to you to make up your mind about everything that I talk about. It's just for you to play with in your own intuition, your own inner knowledge. Today, I want to talk about all the different words for God. And actually, I'm really glad that there's one short one, right? As I'm scrolling through all the material from 4 decades of channeling, I have a lot of different sort of opinions on God that I want to share with you. And they sort of go by the different words for God. Okay. So, source is one of the words that a lot of people think of when they think of God. And source being what set the universes in motion, what set the expansion of energy and matter into expression. The source of all life and light. When I talked to my ex-mother-in-law, who was incredibly religious, I was really looking forward to asking her what God was. And she said that God is the source for all the expressions. And all the expressions of God have to exist, and all the expressions of all the expressions have to exist, and on and on. She said, it's just the outworking of God. That is creation. So we are a part of creation. So is the rock. So is the river. So is the stars that we wonder about, right? So there's that aspect of that short word, God. The other word that came was mystery. And this is in the context that there has to be something left unsaid. There has to be something left unknown, because otherwise we wouldn't seek and search. And we'd have no reason to do our best or to be kind if everything was comprehensible, if everything was understandable, then there wouldn't be any reason to seek, right? So that was one of the words. Um, let me see. I have some cliff notes here because I wanted to remember the words. Now, origin is a very close word to source, but I wanted to use origin here in a slightly different context because, as you know, I've been getting information on the expansion and contraction, the movement of all that is that nothing is ever static, right? And so at the Big Bang, universes are born and the matter and energy flows out into expression from potential. And when it reaches the farthest reaches of where the impetus of the explosion carries it, it begins to slow down. And in that slowing down, it condenses. And in the condensation or condensing or compressing, actually compressing is the best word for it, that the matter and energy has no choice when it reaches a tipping point of density but to explode again. And so eternal is also one of the words for God, because it's the eternal expansion and contraction that really doesn't have a beginning or an end, right? So the eternal is another word for God. And then, sorry, I'm just making sure I've got all the notes. My favorite word for God is love, because to me, love, well, they gave me the information that love is the perfect orchestration of energy or the perfect organization of energy, right? And so if you combine all of these ideas, and we're not the only species here carrying mind. The rocks have mind, the river has mind, the snow has mind, everything has mind. The elements have mind, but we just happen to have a human mind. And it's both our advantage and our detriment at times, right? We all know that. But the human mind has to put words to everything, right? So when we talk about the word origin, we're talking about really potential. I mean, I really think of origin as being more the potential of all that is. And so matter and energy waves out of different potential expressions. And this really kind of hit home to me once when I was crying. This was 1994 when I had left a previous situation. I call it my past life in this lifetime, right? And I was crying because I had built up beautiful flower beds and gardens at that place. And I had irrevocably walked away from it with my yellow lab and my crystals. That's all I took. And so as I was grieving, my angel said to me that you will bring back the self same plants and flowers. Even though they may be born of different seeds, it will be the same energy. And that's because I was going to be drawing them out of potential into expression in my flower beds and my gardens. And the angel said, and that's why the plants and the flowers love you. And I thought, whoa, that's interesting. Because if we came out of potential as expressions of God or love energy, then we love what brought us into expression. I mean, that I sort of applied that to us too. You know, like, why do we love God? Why do we need to love God? Right? But God is love. So, um, and let me see. Virgin matter love. What it all comes down to here, they've told me, is our frequency, our vibration. To hold the highest vibration of love or happiness that we can is how we express God here. And ascension is only knowing we have more choices. Yeah, reincarnation on this planet is not a punishment, it's a privilege. It really is, because so much more advancement is possible in this density. So I'm just really glad that God is a short word, because there are a lot of different aspects, and all religions, all dogma contains the truth of this journey out into experience and then completion and our return. This movement, this loop is in every religion. So anyway, I hope you are safe, and where it's warm, go splash in water, and up here it's cold, so we might make snow angels. But dance and sing and raise that vibration, because that is how you amplify the God energy within you, within all of creation. All right. Till I see you again, please be well. Please be blessed. Thanks for coming.